What up, family? Another daily on the daily vlogs. You already know what time it is. Pressure is a privilege. I think a lot of us on a day-to-day basis think that, the struggles, the stresses, the pressures that we have in our life are there to, tear us down, break us apart. And when the reality is that everything that we do and everything that we're put in are lessons, are obstacles for us to grow and become a better person. And as we head on to the end of the year, this is where a lot of those stresses and a lot of those pressures come to the forefront because of the things that we thought we were going to do this year that we didn't do, or the things that we want to do in 2025 that we're thinking about already marinating in our head. I think it's important for us to realize that it is a journey, and even though we live in a world that everything is becoming faster and faster by the minute and by the day, with social media, technology, advancements and everything getting faster, better quality, better videos, better technology, better everything. Everything's getting better, everything's getting faster. So the amount of processing that our heads can do, sometimes it gets overwhelming. And sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But pressure creates diamonds. And if you haven't heard that before, then you should look it up. The only way a diamond can get made is by being put under pressure, put under fire, and basically shaping it and melting it. And I don't know the entire process, but I do know that in order for you to create a diamond, you have to go through pressure. That's just a part of life. There's a lot of pressures that are unnecessary that we put on ourselves. There's a lot of pressures that are generally good for us to build a better future. And sometimes they create a reality check for you to step into a new mindset in order for you to step into a better version of yourself. So even Chris Bumstead, I don't know if you guys follow Chris Bumstead, but 6-time Mr. Olympia, a bodybuilder. More than that, he's been an inspiration with his story and over the past however many years of his journey with bodybuilding. He talked about pressure being a privilege, and that's very true. I know a lot of high-level athletes talk about pressure being a privilege, and when you're put under pressure, that's when you get tested. That's when you see how you react. That's when you see if you're ready for what the next level may bring you. Just because you're going to a next level doesn't mean that the pressure is going to decrease, the hardships are going to decrease, life is going to become easy. That's never the case. There's a quote that Drake says in one of his songs. He says, more money, more problems. The higher level, the more closer you get to your better version of yourself, the more pressure you'll have. And the more you grow, the more you're put under pressure, you'll start to understand where those pressures come from, and you become better prepared. A lot of it stems from the head, a lot of it stems from the mind, and it's a you versus you battle, honestly. And I say that because this week, that's what's been my pressure, to myself. I've been doing this prep series for honestly almost a month and a half, almost 2 months, and then next week or so. And this past week that ends today, because today is Sunday, November 10th. This entire week has just been full of inconsistency. I haven't been consistent at the gym, and that's where my foundation starts. That's where my day starts. Taking care of myself, challenging myself, putting myself through an intense amount of pressure by lifting weights and being disciplined early in the morning, where I may not be, fully there, but I gotta be, putting in the work. I just haven't been there. I haven't been working out this past week. I believe it was a total of two days, I think it was. Out of this entire week, it was yesterday, Saturday, and I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday. But I've struggled to wake up early at the time that I usually wake up. I've had my alarms. I have my phone all the way up in volume. And like I mentioned in my previous video, I don't know if it's daylight savings. I honestly don't care, because that's an excuse that I said in my previous video saying, oh, maybe it's daylight savings. You're always finding kind of excuses to give yourself some, oh, it's okay, when you gotta like tighten up. And that's what I need to do starting today. So this video is coming on a Monday. So hope this video inspires you to understand that pressure is a privilege. Everyone has different types of pressure on their lives: a pressure to provide, a pressure to go to work, a pressure to, put food on the table, a pressure to provide safety for your family, safety for the country. There's different types of pressure that we all go through every single day, but they are an opportunity for us to elevate to a higher and better version of ourselves. So make that commitment to yourself, just like I'm making the commitment that this week is going to start on the right note. And even if it doesn't start on the right note, adapt. I know I mentioned in one of my videos, adaptability is a part of life, and that truly is a part of life. If you're able to adapt, if you're able to turn circumstances that may look like they're applying pressure to you, and you're able to go and kind of maneuver as a quarterback. When you're a quarterback, you're looking at all the different set plays and how the different players are setting up on defense and how they're trying to blitz you and come at you, and you're trying to, assess the situation. And once they snap the ball, you got the ball in your hands, everyone's coming at you. So you got to pay attention to the defense while also paying attention to different players on your team that are running routes, who's open, who's not. There's my defense player. There's a lot happens, but if you're able to make quick decisions and if you're able to adapt, the more you put yourself to the test, the more pressures you go through, the more experience you'll have for when that pressure comes again in the future, or another pressure comes along in the future. You know how to adapt and how to manage it, because the reality is that a lot of things in our life stem from us in our head. If we're able to control our head and are able to focus, then we can make better out of the circumstances that we may have at that time. And obviously life is a game, life is a journey, and there's going to be challenges that you haven't faced before. There's going to be challenges that you have faced before. All of them are a lesson for you. All of them are an opportunity for you to level up in your game, level up in your life. And through your story, through your journey, you'll be able to inspire others, to give them the resources, give them the feedback of, hey, I went through this so that you don't have to go through that. Or, hey, this is what happened. This could happen to you, so think about it so that it doesn't happen to you, or try to avoid it by doing certain things that I didn't do that I think you should do, and go from there. But I don't know, I just had that thought in my head that it's important for me to acknowledge that a lot of us have pressures, and just know that as we did in the past we didn't know where we're going to be today. And look at where we're at, A few years ago, I was just in college, working with the guys' basketball team, and then my basketball team was no longer there. Then I had to pivot and adapt and find my new journey in education. And then when I graduated after the pandemic, I didn't have a job, so I had to pivot and adapt and figure out how to maneuver that. I was able to get a job in Minnesota. I had to move from Puerto Rico to Minnesota, so I was able to adapt. So there's constantly periods in your life where there's going to be some adapting that you need to do, but with that shift and that adaptation that you do, maybe that's where the next opportunity, the next door, the next window will be for you to grow and to level up. So I hope this finds you well. I hope this finds you in good spirits. And if you're not feeling well, if you're not, in a good spot, understand that wherever you're at, you're going to get through it. you're gonna push through it, and you're gonna look yourself on the other side and be like, that was just a period in my life that I needed to go through in order for me to be here today. You're alive. That's the most important thing. So every day that we get is another opportunity for us to enjoy life, learn more about life, appreciate life, enjoy it, and get better. So that's where we're at. So I hope you had had, depending on when you're watching this video, hope you have a great start to your week, to your Monday. Let's lock in, let's focus, and remember, pressure is a privilege. So don't take it for granted. Peace.
Yeah, in the front row, kicking back old school tracks like damn. Can't get enough of this more, like I don't even know where I am. Ooh, baby, get hyped to the beat, let's go, cause this is our jam. This is our jam.